Hello, my friends. I am the Old Man, and this is the Old Man's Point of View video, number 7, entitled Veterans Homelessness, a simple solution that government just doesn't seem to get. And you've got to ask yourself, why don't they get it? Veterans homelessness is an issue that is close to my heart. This old man is a Vietnam-era Army veteran, and my father was a World War II Army Air Corps pilot bombardier who always landed too fast. And one time, he bombed some farmer's chicken coop instead of the designated target, which was 7 miles to the south. But he loved his country, and so do I. Homelessness is as old as recorded history, and probably even older than that. Homer, the ancient Greek poet who wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey, referenced homeless people as far back as the 8th century BCE. Most societies, especially those that are based in a hierarchical power structure, have always produced the haves and the have-nots, those with and those without, the rich and the poor. Homelessness is a historical and chronic social, institutional, and cultural issue. In the United States right now, there is a record high of almost 800,000 homeless individuals. That's about the same as the total population of either Seattle or San Francisco, and it represents a 20% increase over last year. With all the billions of tax dollars that we spend on homelessness each year, about $37 billion last year alone, and with all the years we have spent trying to finally end homelessness, it seems that our government and our leaders are not doing a very good job. So out of this total homeless population of almost 800,000 people, I'm going to segregate out one very specific group. And that, of course, would be our homeless military veterans. 33,000 homeless veterans. That's just about the same total number of people that there are in the entire Army Corps of Engineers, both soldiers and civilians. And that's entirely ridiculous. The VA, or the Veterans Administration by itself, currently spends about $3.2 billion on homelessness each and every year. The VA says that these funds will go to care for about 300,000 veterans in fiscal year 2025 who are all at different stages of homelessness. Now that's a very interesting statement. So tell me how, if the VA is spending their $3.2 billion to help 300,000 veterans out of homelessness, then how does that line up with the claim that there's only 33,000 veterans who are homeless? Something doesn't add up, and of course that is quite typical of our government. This country, this nation of ours, these United States of America, well, we are a country that was born from war. It was those individuals who fought alongside of George Washington for our independence. It was those soldiers and sailors who, through their efforts, both individually and collectively, provided the rest of us with a nation that was born from war. And once the war is over and the peace and tranquility has been restored, once the tour of duty is over, what becomes of these soldiers and sailors? Well, they become our veterans, our national heroes, without whom we would not exist as a nation. Indeed, right now as we speak, right at this moment, we are mostly safe and secure within the world community, primarily because of our military might. We, citizens, the everyday people, you, me, we owe everything to these individuals, these veterans, these soldiers and sailors, airmen and Marines, who put themselves in harm's way, willing to take the bullet so that we don't have to. Thank God for those who protect and provide. Now, according to the Washington Post, in 2013, then President Obama made us a promise. He made a public national commitment. He said one of the biggest proposed increases in discretionary spending seeks to build on progress towards a high-profile goal of eliminating veterans' homelessness by 2015. So here are the numbers for those years. In 2013, there was 54,000 homeless veterans. In 14, about 50, and in 2015, about 41,000 homeless veterans. Although Obama didn't reach his goal, it does look like he at least did get about 13,000 homeless veterans off the streets. Now pay attention. I said it looks like he did. But all that he really did was to create categories for homelessness. Here it is down here. And he just moved the numbers around. So he didn't tell us that, so it was a little bit of a deception. And unfortunately, again, that is typical of our government. Now, regarding the VA money, the Veterans Administration money that is specifically earmarked for veterans' homelessness issues, the VA says, from the time of President Obama in 2013 until 2024, the VA's homelessness funding has seen a significant increase from $1.3 billion to $3.2 billion in 2024, with a focus on prevention, transitional housing, permanent housing, treatment, employment, and of course the administrative costs. And this is all resulting in a substantial reduction in veterans' homelessness. But remember, the government is manipulative and isn't always honest with us. So in 2013, Obama promised us that he would eliminate veterans' homelessness by 2015. Since then, and through the VA, taxpayers have spent a total of $32 billion specifically on veterans' homelessness. And remember, there's only 33,000 homeless veterans out there, out of the total population of just under 800,000. And this total number keeps increasing regardless of our spending. It keeps increasing every year. So it's obvious to this old man that either the government and all of its really smart people are actually incompetent, or this effort to end homelessness is full of corruption. And this old man, with my 50 years of experience and involvement with government, I believe it's both incompetence and corruption. Okay, so now let me get to the simple solution that the government just doesn't seem to get, or they don't want to. Okay, so here we have what we're going to call the social services model. This is how we approach homelessness in this country, whether it's veterans or otherwise. In the middle, you have the homeless people, right? So when they get hungry, somebody feeds them. I've done it 100 times. You probably have too. You give somebody a few bucks. You give somebody a McDonald's hamburger, whatever. They're always throwing shoes at these people, and when it gets cold, of course, somebody's going to distribute coats. And if they fall down and start having convulsions and bleeding out of their ears, somebody's going to scoop them up and give them the medical attention they need. Now, currently in the government, the big thing is to put these homeless, especially the homeless veterans, into housing. It does get them off the street, but it's exactly the same thing. We're still paying for their food, tax money, paying for their shoes and their clothes and their medical attention, and now we get to spend billions and billions of dollars every year to provide housing. So there's no end to this model. And there certainly is nothing in this model that takes these veterans or these homeless people and lifts them up out of homelessness and changes the mindset of homelessness. So, what we propose is this other model that we call the integrated business model. Now, you see over here is the homeless guy. We're going to scoop this guy up and take him out of the city. We're going to take him out of that urban homeless environment. We're going to put him out in the country into our homestead facility. He'll be here for almost a year. We're going to recondition him mentally, and at the same time, we're going to train him in a vocation. Now, after he has spent his year up here, he's going to go here to an in-town apartment, and once he's settled there, a week or so, he'll start working a job in one of the 3 vocations that he has learned up here. 2 things are interesting about this model. First, the 100 or 200 people or more that are up at our facility become friends. They're up here for a year. They're going to make friends. They move with those same friends to their apartments, and then with those same friends into their jobs. This continued friendship creates community. And with community, you can change the mindset of homelessness. Second thing that's interesting, the reason we can guarantee this is that we own everything. The project owns the homestead facility. We're going to own the in-town apartments, and we're going to own the places where these guys work. So we can guarantee home and job and all the other things that they would certainly require. Simple, isn't it? The money, the profits that are made here come back around to here to pay for the next series of veterans who are going to go to their apartments and into their jobs, and then we'll expand the job opportunity. The bigger job, the more jobs, the more profits, the more money that comes back here, and it becomes cyclical. No tax money is involved, and you and I and the rest of the citizenry save billions of dollars each and every year. Simple. Okay, here I am coming back. Okay, so I have taken this approach, this integrated business model, and put it into a I've designed a 2-year demonstration project. The 2-year demonstration project will prove the viability of this approach. It's how the government likes to test new ideas. Anyway, I hope that you now have a greater understanding of the situation involving veterans homelessness and the continuing gross and stupid failure of the government to stem the rising tide of increased homelessness. And it certainly shows a general lack of appreciation for the veterans who have kept us and who continue to keep us safe and secure, our men and women in uniform, and the 18 million living veterans who came before them. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you all for taking the time to learn about veterans homelessness. Remember, happiness can be a choice. Give a stranger a compliment today and make him smile. It'll make you happy too. As always, I wish for nothing but love and peace. I am the old man.